Good, good, good. Yeah, I made this little board so people can see the logos of the stuff, so
Yeah, it
it
looks
doesn't look
dope.
too messy behind me, So yeah, it's kind of cool because like on the on the radio in Florida, who thought that would happen? I'm in Canada, so
Oh shit. That's
yeah, and I knew
awesome.
the word is bond out of the UK, so it's like it's worldwide.
That's crazy. Where what part of Canada are you from?
I'm in London, Ontario.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, but the show that I do for campus radios in Hamilton. I'm originally from Hamilton, so
Oh, no way.
yeah. So this will end up in on the Florida show. It'll end up in the Hamilton show, and it'll be on the wordisbond.com too. So
Oh, thank you, man. That's dope. Yeah, I just did a show in Hamilton like maybe like a month ago or something like that or 2 months ago.
yeah, that really makes me mad, man. When I was in Hamilton, nothing was happening, you
No
know.
shit.
And like when I moved out of there about like 8 years ago, now there's a really good scene there, and there's stuff going on all the time. I'm like, man,
It's definitely a good scene. I liked rocking over there. We rocked like Toronto and shit. It was like cool area, you know what I mean? Is London far or?
no, not too far, about an hour and a half,
Oh, cool.
2 hours. Uh,
Not too bad, not too bad.
yeah.
That's what's up. So how does this work? Like, is this happening like publicly right now, or are we just talking and it's not public right now?
Uh, I don't know. He's still got the static screen there, so
Oh,
um,
okay.
he's on the radio right now. So he starts at 5, and then we do the segment at like 5:30. So
Gotcha.
he'll come on and then introduce us, and then talk to you for a bit, and then we tag team the interview, and then he'll throw to a song, and then we keep talking. Um,
Cool.
so we talk through the song, and then you can listen to his podcast, or you can watch this video for like bonus content if you're listening to the show.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, and then I usually take it and I'll chop it up too, and I'll re-air it for Dope FM and the Word is Bond on our show, and so we'll have some of this bonus content we were talking
All
that
right,
wasn't
fellas,
on.
can you hear me?
What
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
We're
kid?
good? Yeah, my fault. Yeah, I have a whole lot of stuff I'm doing back here. But there's like a minute left. All right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the tracks I'm playing now, and then everybody introduce themselves.
Sounds
Cool.
good.
All right, cool, cool. Hey, Chase, could you double check, make sure the video is broadcasting?
Yeah.
'Cause I think we got a couple of viewers right now, so yeah. I'm doing this new thing. I'm doing it through YouTube Live. So
Okay.
it should be recording also. We'll see. I don't know. Technology is killing me, so.
Yeah, it's there. It's good.
It's playing? All right, cool, cool,
Yeah,
cool. Word.
it's a little delayed because I just heard what I said a second ago, so
What's up?
it's a bit delayed on the video, but it's good.
Okay, yeah, I think there's like a 30-second delay or some foolishness. I don't know.
Some
All
fool.
right.
All right, cool, cool. Let's get this joint. All right. It's 5 seconds. Awesome. Let's plug in. Yeah, we're back. It's our show right here, WPRK, Winter Park, Florida, 91.5 FM. Thank you guys for tuning in. Got a special interview coming up right now, but let me tell you what we've been playing so far on the show. Instrumental in the background, of course. It's our show. Gotta have some Nujabes on the show. So this is Aurorian Dance, Nujabes. Before that was, let me adjust my mic. Before that was Elvis Costello and the Roots. That was the Kareem Riggins remix of Cinco Minutos con Vos. And yeah, it says featuring Black Thought, but Black Thought's in the Roots, so I'm not sure how that works. Before that, Marco Polo featuring Invincible with Drunken Sleuth. Oh, by the way, Marco Polo is scheduled to be on the show next week, so look forward to that. Before that was the Soul Rebels. The Show Me What You Got, the live version of a Jay-Z cover that they did. The Soul Rebels are a real dope band out in New Orleans. So before that, another Jay-Z tribute track. That was Sky Zoo and Ant-Man Wonder with Meeting the President and Meeting the Presidents. And they just put out a project called An Ode to Reasonable Doubt. And it's kind of like a remake of Reasonable Doubt. And Sky Zoo is going to rejoins that Ant-Man Wonder refixed. So you can check for that. Before that was Homegrown O's in Orlando Hip Hop with Jay-Z, Midas the Beast, Vice Major, and Illustrate called Dear Seasons. All right, so now let me get all my guests, turn them up on the thing. All right, fellas, remember, this is being broadcasted over 91.5 FM live. Airwaves, radio, for real. You know what I'm saying? So FCC rules apply.
You got it.
All right, cool. So everybody introduce themselves, please, because y'all sounding really nice right now.
You go first, my man.
Yeah, this is Chase March, Dope FM Radio, thewordisbond.com. Conscious and I are going to tag team this interview with our special guest.
What up, J57 from the Brown Bag AllStars, MC producer from Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, so now you mentioned Brooklyn, but you're born and raised in New York, right?
Yeah, Long Island, and I've been living in Brooklyn for like pretty much like 7 or 8 years or something like that. I should know this answer by now, but it's like 7 or 8 years.
But before all that, you know what I'm saying? Talk about coming up in Long Island. I've never been to New York, but describe that scene for me as a young junior J57 growing up. You know what I'm saying? Talk about Long Island through the eyes of a young J57.
It was awesome.
J57.
It was really cool, man. I mean, we're so close to New York City that if there's like an event or a show or Fat Beats Records, for example, I was able to just hop on the train and go there. And I didn't live so close that it would be like a 5-minute thing, but it was like it's really, the city was really accessible and birthplace of hip hop. So it's like everything was always going on. Growing up. I don't know, growing up in Long Island was awesome. It's like, suburban, middle class, areas where I grew up, 2 different areas. And, but like everybody was into hip hop, like since I was like a little kid. And, I'd use skateboard and stuff like that and play like classic, like Illmatic and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like play hockey in the street and listen to that, play football in someone's backyard playing, Reasonable Doubt and stuff like that and Wu-Tang. And, it's just the way I grew up. I was just a fan since I was like a little kid.
That's so cool. Do you still skate?
I did up until like maybe like 06 and then once in a blue moon since then, but I went pretty hard with it. I wasn't good. I just loved doing it. I was really not good, but I was just like, but I loved doing it. So I just did it really for fun. Like I was like friends with like Harold Hunter, which was really cool.
Word, okay.
You know what I mean? Like just cruise around, not real skate, but it was just part of the culture growing up in New York is like everybody skated pretty much,
Yeah, because I mean, there's so much like you can't really drive. It's traffic everywhere, right? So you might as well skateboard on the sidewalk to actually get somewhere.
Yeah, it's pretty trafficy. That's true. I mean, yeah, ride a bike or a skateboard. I prefer the skateboard. You know what I mean? So.
All right, cool. Now, real quick, because let's get into the name. You know what I'm saying? J57. Now, I know your real name. It came in an email or something. So are you getting catch-up money? I mean.
Yeah, we're getting catch-up money right now. No.
Right? Nice.
No, I mean, yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, like, I used to go by J Logic, and I changed it because it got too, like, it was just too, like, I don't know, bland, like, unoriginal. I was just like, I need something that really, like, actually, like, represents me a little bit more because I made up that name when I was, like, I don't know, in, like, high school when I started rhyming. And by the time it was 2008, so roughly, like, I don't know, I guess 10 years later, I was like, I really want to change my name, and I'm not known yet, so I could get away with it, and I did. I changed my name to J57, which is like, Audible Doctor came up with that name for me. He's a member of the Brown Bag AllStars, my group. And yeah, he came up with the name. He was like, your first name, James, your last name Hines. He's like, just go by like Jimmy Hines, go by your name. And I was like, I looked into it, and it was like a techno DJ named Jim Hines. I was like, I can't get away with this, like another unoriginal name now. And then he was like, go by just J57. I was like, yeah, that's actually pretty perfect. All right, let's do this.
So now, how long have you, because Okay, how long have you been producing MCing then? Because I thought you had the name before, like the whole Brown Bag AllStars. I was going by J Logic before that.
Yeah, I was J Logic, and like on our first project called the Brown Tape, very old project.
Really dope.
Thank you, man. Yo, I say J Logic on like one or two songs, which is really funny. If you like go back and listen to it, like on a song called Dinner's Ready and a song called Lou Reed, where I sampled Lou Reed, and it was like a homage kind of thing. I say J Logic on those two verses, which it always cracks me up because like people are probably like, who is this? Like it says J57 in the credits, but whatever.
All right, so now you know what? Let me get into a joint right now, and because I think we're getting kind of laggy, you know what I'm saying? But let me shout out some folks real quick, some social shout outs. Big shouts to drag on underscore on one on Instagram, Shinobi Stalin, Elliot Martinez Music, and Mr. Flames. They've been liking a lot of the joints we were playing and stuff. All right, cool. All right, so now I'm gonna play a joint. You know what I'm saying? And then behind the scenes, we're gonna do a little bit more talking on some video exclusive joints that people can check out on YouTube later.
Dope.
So, what I want to do is I want to get into, let's see, what am I playing? I don't even know. All right, let's get into this joint. You mentioned the Brown Bag AllStars, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to play this track, Rottweiler, that you produced.
Oh, cool.
You know what I'm saying? Now, give me a random Jeopardy type fact about Rottweiler. Could be like the recording of it. Did something crazy happen? Was it something in the beat that people need to re-listen to and hear it, or?
I guess I'll give you a pretty cool fact. It's nothing crazy, but I made that beat. It was on New Year's Day, I guess 2011 or something like that, or 12. It might have been 2011 on New Year's Day. It was the first beat I made of 2011. I sent it to one of my homies. He didn't get back to me in time to say he wanted to use it. I already sent it to Brown Bag. They already said let's rock. I already wrote my verse. My boy hit me back going, yo, can I use that beat that you sent? I was like, dude, that was like 3 weeks ago. This is New York City. We keep them moving. But that's, I guess, a fun fact is like somebody else almost had it, and it was the first beat I made of the entire year. So I was like, all right. Usually the first beat of the year isn't as dope as that one, so I was pretty lucky.
Nice. All right, cool. We're going to get into it. And I want to talk more about your coming up because I want to know whether it was production or MCing that came first for you. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that while the track is playing, that people can kind of get to hear the producer side of you. All right, so this is the homie J57. He produced for the Brown Bag AllStars. It's called Rottweiler, and you're tuned into our show, WPRK, Winter Park, Florida, 91.5 FM, chasemarch.com, thewordisbond.com, and kevinnottingham.com. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. It's our show. We'll be right back. Be easy. Peace. All right, cool. So which came first? Rhyming or producing?
Rapping.
Rhyming?
Yeah, I started rhyming in '98 and making beats in 2003.
So now, did you make beats because you're looking for beats to rhyme over, or?
No, that's a good question. That's probably how most people do it. But I was in a crew. I learned from two people that were in my old crew. They were both really dope producers, and it's when Reason came out, and they were just like, yo, let me show you how to. First they showed me how to use like Fruity Loops. I used that for like a couple months. I was like, all right, this is cool. And then they were like, no, you have to use Reason. Like it's the new thing. It's so much better. I was like, yo, I just learned how to make beats. Like, come on, But they really talked me into making beats because we'd cipher all the time. Like we'd have back in the day we'd throw like keg parties and stuff like that in high school, and like a ton of people would come, people from other towns, the whole nine. And there would be like a cipher or a battle or whatever, and I would be in them rapping, but I would mainly be the beatboxer. I just loved doing that when we were ciphering and having fun at parties or whatever.
Oh, so you're beatboxing too?
Yeah, that was the first thing I did. Yeah, that's what started.
So don't tell me you're a b-boy also and you're doing graph.
No, I don't. But I mean, one of the cats who taught me how to make beats, ill b-boy, even like I don't know, he's just nasty. Like he used to break in the hallways while we'd cipher and stuff. Like it sounds like super like hip hop movie-ish, but like. That was real life in like 2001. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. You're in New York. I mean, I don't know how you don't trip over hip hop out there.
Yeah, it's for real. Like even like nerds were into hip hop. It was like everyone was. You know what I mean?
That's dope. All right. So you started using Fruity Loop, and then you used Reason. But aren't you doing like physical like MPC stuff now, or?
No, you know what? I have an MPD. It's right here. I got the MPD, and that it's an Akie, you know, it's Akie or whatever. So it's like built like an MPC, but it's really what it is a MIDI controller to use like to chop stuff and whatever. Like I use it like the pads from an MPC, but it's actually a MIDI controller that goes through my computer. So it's like I trigger sounds from my computer, like a keyboard. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, yeah, because I saw you, I've been posting that video with you making the beat live while, like, Soulcon was performing.
Oh, good looks, man, yeah.
And so I was like, oh, okay, so it's a MIDI controller. Okay, that's dope. So when did you start, I guess, from just using the keyboard and the mouse? Like, why did you go into the MIDI actual pads then?
Oh, I'll tell you right now, it was, like, late 2009, and one of my interns at Fat Beats was, like, a super hardware guy. Like he was like, he has everything, every MPC ever made, every SP, like, and he's such a geek about it, and he like makes really cool sounding beats and stuff, like really analog sounding. And he was like, yo, I bought the MPD 32, man. He's like, I know you use Reason. He's like, I just don't know why I have it. I don't want to use it. I love using the SP and running it through the MP and doing like going in. I was like, yeah, you got that? I'll buy it off you. And he's like, no, I got you. And he hooked me up with it for free. It was like, at the time, it was like kind of new, and it was like maybe $200 or $300. So my boy, shouts to Birthmark, the homie Birthmark, hooked me up with that. And it took me about 3 or 4 months to like really get it down to a science, and that changed my whole beat making process. Like I was doing stuff internally in Reason and using a a MIDI controller keyboard, which I got right over here. I don't even know if you can see it, but
all right.
Like I was using those for I guess 6 years, and then once I started getting good at that, using the MPD, I just heard stuff in a whole different way, because now I could flip stuff so much easier and different and more creative. The whole thing to me is you got to be as creative as possible, and this thing really lets you kind of just soar doing stuff that you could never do internally in a program or even with a keyboard. You know what I mean?
All right, dope. We got about like 20 seconds left until we get back on there. But yeah, once again, appreciate you doing this interview. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, thank you guys, man, for real.
You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to do it to where, because like I said, we're broadcasting on KevinNottingham.com, thewordisbond.com, it'sourshow.net, chasemarch.com. I mean, so we're trying to spread this out, and over the airwaves. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. We're gonna come back.
Cool.
Saying, all right, we're back. It's our show right here, WPRK, Winter Park, Florida, 91.5 FM over the radio waves, and online at it'sourshow.net, thewordisbond.com, KevinNottingham.com, and chasemarch.com. We're all over these internets. Word up. All right, so that last track, Rottweiler, produced by our very special guest, J57, of the talented Brown Bag AllStars.
Indeed.
Now, speaking of Brown Bag AllStars, you guys came together at, like you mentioned it earlier, one of the staples of New York independent hip-hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You all worked at Fat Beats.
Yes, that's how we met, yeah.
So now tell me, how did you get involved with Fat Beats?
It's funny. I was like the little homie to a crew from Long Island, a hip hop crew called Crisis Center. They were like on the cusp. Are you familiar with Crisis Center by any chance?
I think so. Yeah, it sounds familiar. There was something
like 10 years ago. They were dropping records and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. It sounds familiar.
Yeah. They were dope, man. They were like a hair away from getting signed to like Eastern Conference in Eastern Conference's prime. You know what I mean? Like they didn't really make stuff like in that vibe, but it was similar, you know. But I would roll with them, and I learned a lot about just the game in general. So shouts to them, Undefined, DJ Concept, and Mickey Knox. They showed me how to really they taught me about this game, you know what I mean? And DJ Concept got me the internship at Fat Beats. I was rolling with him to some event he was DJing in Manhattan. So I took the train. I rolled by myself. All my friends couldn't go, and I was like, I got to meet like Saigon that night. That was pretty cool. And then this is like 2003, I think, and I was like, yo, I'm like, this night was cool, but like I didn't make any connections really, you know what I mean? Like, I met Saigon, but I mean, 1,000 people met him. He doesn't care, you know. And I was like, this night was almost like a waste. And then I'm like, I came all the way out here. This sucks. And then I was about to leave, and DJ Concept's like, yo, do you want to like intern at Fat Beats? And I was like, yeah. Like, do you want me to go kill somebody or something? I'll do whatever it takes to be there. I'll do whatever you want me to do. And he was like, here, I'll introduce you. He introduced me to the homegirl, DJ Amore, who was the manager at the store. And I went in for my interview, which I've said in the Brown Bag song 406, which you might even be segueing to. I say that I was almost too nervous to walk in for my interview, which is true, because I'm not even that kind of person who gets nervous like that, but that's how much it meant to me. You know what I mean? But the rest is history. Met my brothers there. You know, I met Brown Bag there.
All right. Because I was trying to play a bunch of joints that you produced. But I mean, if you want to get into the 406, I get into that joint. You know what I'm saying? Also,
whatever. It's up to you, man. I don't mind.
You're a special guest. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I guess if people could relate to it and they know what Fat Beats is, they'll want to hear it. So I guess that's cool.
Yeah, I'll get it on for you. You know what I'm saying? But before that, So who was there before from Brown Bag AllStars at Fat Beats when you came in, or were you the first one there?
You know, it's funny. Me and Audible Doctor started the same time, so but just different days. So we started, I think, the same week. Real talk. And we started the same exact week. Didn't even meet each other for months, like maybe 2 or 3 months. I needed him to cover a shift for me. I was like, maybe I was going out of town or something. I needed somebody to cover one of my shifts or my shift or whatever as an intern. And they're like, here's Mark's number. Call him. You know, he lives in Brooklyn. He'll come in. Blah blah blah. So, you know, you're coming from Long Island at the time. You know, I was like, all right, cool. I called him. I think I said I'll buy him like 40s or something if he works for me. And
nice.
Yeah, and that's how we became friends.
Multiple 40s. That's
multiple. Yeah, I was like, I'll buy you like 7 40s or something crazy. Not even like, you know, just some weird stuff. And then I didn't see him for mad months. I never even met him in person after that. And then when I got hired at the store, he was working the same day as me. Like, we got hired around the same time and stuff, you know, from being interns. And then I was like, wait, are you the Mark that, like, covered for me? He's like, I'm like, I owe you 40s. I ran, like, as soon as I went on break, I went to the corner store and bought, like, a bunch of 40s for him. Old school.
Nice. So, real quick, so what entails being an intern at Fat Beats? Like, what were you doing?
Amazing. I mean, I'll tell you my first shift, dude. I'll tell you what it entails, but I gotta tell you this because it was the coolest thing ever. I walked in for my first shift, and I didn't even know this, but Ali Shaheed Muhammad was coming in to do an in-store. And I was like, for real? I'm working this in-store? This is amazing. I get to chill with him the whole night. But, so for an in-store, you kind of hang out with the artist, and you kind of, like, make sure they're good and form a line for the people for him to sign autographs, blah, blah, blah. But, like, a regular day or a regular night, whatever, you're just really going through the records, making sure if there's any dividers in the record, you know, bins that are out, you take the dividers out, you write down what's been sold out, and sweep up at the end of the day, you know, help customers, play records for customers. And I mean, could not get a better job for me personally. You know what I mean? Like, if it's not going to be me making music, that is the only other thing I would want to do.
Yeah, I mean, you're surrounded by music pretty much 24/7. That is awesome.
Best job in the world.
Now, so you and Audible Doctor were the first ones out of the crews to be at Fat Beats.
Mm-hmm.
Now, give me, what was your first impression of Audible Doctor? I mean, he helped you out and he bought him a bunch of 40s and got him drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But now, run through all the other members. This is a good way to introduce all the other members of Brown Bag. What were your first impressions of them?
Okay. I'll tell you, I'll try to be as brief as possible because I'm known to ramble. But,
hey, do what you gotta do. We're gonna talk about this stuff. So.
All right, so the next cat was Ihala, DJ Ihala, who's also Torre's DJ. He was the next cat to start working at the store, followed by DJ Element.
Well, what did you think about Ihala when you first met him?
Oh, when I first met him, I'm sorry. When I first met him, he's just a quiet dude. He's one of the best people I ever met in my existence. One of the nicest guys. Take the shirt off his back for you if you need it kind of guy. You know what I mean? So, like, we hit it off immediately, but he was very quiet, so it took a little time to be, like, boys with him. You know, like, me and Audible got along right away, cracking jokes, just being idiots, you know what I mean? But, like, Hala was, like, really, really cool, but he was really quiet. And then once, we got to, like, spend a lot of time together, we're like, oh, that's the man. And then it was DJ Element after him, who I met before that because I rolled with Undefined from Crisis Center upstate New York to go help him do a session. He was producing for a guy named Elgant, you know, a dope MC named Elgant.
Yeah, Elgant, yeah, we play his joints on the show.
Yeah, that's the homie right there. And that DJ Element was DJing for Elgant at the time, so I met Element there in whatever it was, Poughkeepsie or whatever. And months and months later, Element asked me to get him like an internship at Fat Beats. We needed somebody. He was a good worker, I assumed, and he came, you know, a dope DJ. He came in. Then after that, Soulcon came in on Sundays, and I talked to him on the phone before that. thought he was like a 40-year-old man because of his voice, and then he came in, and he starts walking in the back room to like put his bag down, and I was like, yo, buddy, you can't go in the back room. Like I stopped him, and he's like, I'm Noah. I'm like, get out of here, son. Classic. I immediately was like, what is wrong with you? No, it was amazing. And then it just threw me off so crazy with the voice, which was awesome, obviously. And then after him, Concept came into the store one day when I was playing beats. It was like a slow day. I was playing like 06-ish, I think. I was playing beats. He came in. He was like on a date or something. Like I don't know. He had like people with him, and he's like, "Yo, whose beats are these?" Everyone points at me, and he's like, "Yo, can I kick something?" He starts spitting, and caught my attention. I was like, "Yo, here's my email. Let's link," and we started working. And then and also DJ Goo, original member of Brown Bag, the homie right there. He was an original dude at Fat Beats too. Like he was working at Chunking Studios, and I think that's it.
Yeah, you guys have a big crew. Like Brown Bag AllStars is like right now in hip hop the most like talentedly stacked crew in hip hop.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Like it's crazy. Like everybody's dope, and a lot of people do multiple things, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man.
And the things you guys do is dope. All right, so I'm gonna play that 406 joint. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
Produced by Audible Doctor. You know what I'm saying? Also, you're the friend you got drunk. You know what I'm saying? First time meeting him. And what we're gonna do is, I want to talk about the track is about it closing. You know what I'm saying? Fat Beats, the store closing.
Yeah.
So while we're playing the track, I want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, how you guys took it. You know what I mean?
Cool.
All right, so cool. So yeah, it's our show. Thank you guys for tuning in. WPRK, Winter Park, Florida, 91.5 FM. We got Chase March in the chat. Chase is going to say more things, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? Just feel free to cut me off, fam, because I'm always talking. You know what I'm saying? It's what I do. You know what I'm saying? So feel free to hit me up and cut me off. All right, cool. So I'm going to play this joint. Oh, by the way, instrumental in the background you're listening to, of course, Jay Dilla with History. All right, cool. So we're going to play this. This is 406, produced by Audible Doctor, Brown Bag AllStars, who we have a crew member, J57, right now on our show. WPRK, Winter Park, Florida, 91.5 FM. It'sourshow.net, chasemarch.com, thewordisbond.com, and kevinnottingham.com. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be right back. Be easy. And feel free to hit me up in the chat room. It'sourshow.net. That's ITSOURSHOW.net. And if you're on, I got to check the Google Plus page because I don't know if people are asking questions and stuff. So this is still brand new to me. You know what I mean? All right, cool. We're going to get into it. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we'll be right back. Music first.
Yeah, we're going to start talking about record stores, though, man. Like, record stores were, like, very important to me. I never worked at one, but I was at one every Tuesday, every week when I was a teenager,
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, the downtown spot, like, we had 3 spots, We had Sam the Record Man, and that was more of a famous one, like, in Toronto and Hamilton area and here. But they closed down the Hamilton one a long time ago.
Wow.
And the Toronto one has this great big huge sign, and it's like one of those glass signs that lights up. It looks like the record's spinning around.
That's awesome.
And they're trying to preserve this thing, and make sure it stays in Toronto lit up, even though the store's gone. So I know it's not quite the same thing as a Fat Beats, but
no, but it's just as important though, because it's like. Because, where would you be without that store? Like, I grew up in Long Island, like I said, and there was a store called the Cop Shop.
Yeah, I know a friend of mine knows the owner from that spot.
Eddie.
Like, that was another dope spot.
Yeah, I went to high school with him.
Oh, okay. Wait, do you know DJ Fisher?
DJ Fisher? No.
Oh, okay. Everybody, I always come across like, oh, yeah, DJ Fisher's that dude. But, yeah, I mean, he's a real good dude. He introduced me to a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? That's
awesome. You know what? I mean, DJ Fisher, he might even be older or whatever, because Eddie, E Squared from the Cop Shop, he nice. He was out of high school when I got in high school, and I moved to that town where the Cop Shop was in 9th grade. You know what I mean? So I didn't meet him until a few years later, and now we're boys. Since the store opened, I interview I did for journalism class. I wrote a thing about the opening. It was in the newspaper of the town and stuff. But that's my homie. You know what I mean now, and yeah, the Cop Shop, he was saying, if it wasn't for stores like the Cop Shop and stuff like by him, man, we wouldn't You know what I mean? Like, how it'd be so impossible to get into this music back in the day, like where there's no internet like that, you know?
So okay, so now talk about. I mean, how did they break the news to you that Fat Beats was going to close its doors?
I mean, I was making beats. I had my phone charging in another room at my crib, and I looked at my phone. I got a text from DJ Eclipse, who was my boss, and he wrote something like, "We're closing the store in 2 weeks," and that was it. I was like, "What?"
Damn, they gave you 2 weeks notice. You know what I'm saying? No, it's the other way around. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I got 2 weeks notice, and I was like, "Wow, this is gonna be crazy." You know what I mean? Like, not in a good way. And immediately from there, my phone was like, they were gonna announce it. They announced it 2 days. They were supposed to announce it 2 days after he told me, and the PR person, I forgot who it was, somebody I hired for PR for it, like for the press release and all that, screwed the pooch and did it a day early, which ruined everything for everyone, and really annoyed people like me because, well, one, the Fat Beats LA people didn't even know their store was closing until they saw it on Twitter, so that's how they screwed it completely. And two, my phone blew up and my email blew up so hard, I couldn't even I think I still have emails from it backed up, you know what I mean? And that was 3 years ago. But yeah, dude, it was definitely a sad day. I can't lie. It was a really sad day, when the store closed and all that stuff. But we went out like a G though. We did all the
yeah. I mean, I saw some of the videos from it. It was
incredible,
crazy,
incredible, man. I met so many of my idols and became friends with them after it. You know what I mean? But that, it was so crazy for Brown Bag to rock as we're rocking.
Primo was there. You know what I'm saying? Who else was there?
Primo, A-Track, Pete Rock, Just Blaze, DJing, DJ Eclipse, of course. All the OG Fat Beats people, the Arsonist rocked, which was incredible. Never seen them rock before, even though I've been a fan for 15 years. But I don't know, it was crazy, man. There's so many people. It was a real they went out the way it should be done. You know what I mean? MTV came and covered it. The line was literally around the block, you know what I mean, to get in the store. It was insane.
Yeah, well, it should have been like that, man, because that's history right there.
Amen.
Record shops are falling off all over the place. That's not the only one. But there's still a few hanging on.
Yeah, we got a real dope one here in Orlando called, it's not necessarily a hip-hop shop, but Park Ave CDs. You know what I'm saying? It's a real dope spot people can get things sold at. You know what I mean? But now, what was the writing on the wall? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, totally. It was definitely on the wall. It kind of froze for a sec.
Oh, my fault. My bad. But yeah, was the writing on the wall? Did you kind of know it was coming?
Yeah, definitely. I think Brown Bag, I think me and Audible knew probably the most. We didn't have any hints or anything, but we just knew. We're pretty good when it comes to stuff being the pessimist, being all right, this is not good. When the amount of people coming in, the amount of stuff we had to reorder and all that, because Audible was the buyer, so he would see firsthand how much stuff to buy. He would notice that he had to buy less and less stuff, and it was honestly a business move for the owner. They could have kept the store open for sure. There's so many reasons why you could have, but it was also bleeding money from the business, and he was you know what, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna keep it online. You know what I mean? And I always try to support fatbeats.com. I always whenever I see my records on the wall behind me, those are records I produced for people Homeboy Sandman, Scene, Brown Bag AllStars, Concept, J57. But,
yeah, I want to talk about all the collaborations too.
Yeah, and collab with a lot of people, but these are all records that collabo records where I went and bought them from Fat Beats. They all came out, of course, after the store closed. That's when people started checking me, when the store closed. You know how cool it would have been for people to check me while I worked at Fat Beats after selling people stuff for 6 years and being that guy who's telling everyone you should listen to Blue and Exile, you should listen to Black Milk, and then months later everybody now cares. Now it's I could do that for my own stuff and I can't do it. It was so bad.
That sucks.
But I still support. I still buy my own records from fatbeats.com and whatever.
Hey, you gotta support dope stuff. You know what I'm saying? All right. We're gonna be on air real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
My bad. I'm doing a million things at once.
All good, man. Understandable.
Word up. We're back. It's our show right here, WPRK, Winter Park, Florida, 91.5 FM. We got Chase March in the video chat right now. You know what I'm saying? Our special guest, the homie J57 from the Brown Bag AllStars. You know what I mean? And that last track was about the institution of independent hip hop, not just in New York, but everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember there was a Fat Beats in Atlanta. There was one overseas in the Netherlands or something like that.
Yeah, they had Amsterdam and they had Japan. For very briefly, they had Japan, but they had Amsterdam for a lot of years.
Yeah, and Atlanta was a good little wild thing too. You know
I think that was a brief one too, but it was there.
Yeah, exactly. But then that track 406 by Brown Bag AllStars, talking about their time at Fat Beats. Now, why can I not remember his name? He was always outside in front of Fat Beats trying to sell his stuff.
Percy P.
Percy P. So you guys basically made this man homeless now because he had to go.
Yo, you know what's funny? Yo, that was even before my time being there. Even though like I would see Percy P like at shows when I would go to concerts from Long Island, like when I was 18 years old or whatever, 17, we'd go and catch shows in like Brooklyn and stuff. And he'd come in the crowd and sell his CD hand to hand to everyone.
Wow.
Like I got to see it firsthand, but never in front of Fat Beats. But there was a lot of homies, there's a lot of people who did sell their CD in front of Fat Beats, like the homie Creature and a bunch of other people. Like Creature had like MF Doom on his album and stuff that he's selling. Like, you know what I mean? Like Lewis Logic, he had like crazy people on his album.
Yeah, it's fun. We got Lewis Logic coming up in 2 weeks.
That's the homie, man. Tell him I said what up.
All right. And we got Marco Polo coming up next week.
Oh, well, Marco, definitely. That's the big homie right there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Canadian too.
Yes, sir. Toronto.
What was I gonna say? But yeah, wait. So the guy, why couldn't people just sell them in Fat Beats? What was it? Were they not packaged right, or I mean?
No, it was packaged perfectly right. It was just cats are hustlers, man. They hustle, like they sell. They have a legal hustle going. You know what I mean? Like there was a bunch of people that were doing it just to make money. And there's a bunch of people who like I was saying, like my man Creature, who was like a reputable dude, dope MC, really good guy. He just wanted to get his music out there and kind of like he had his CD in the store and he sold it hand to hand outside, like trying to get as many people as possible. Because I see where he was coming from. It was like different demographics. It's like the Fat Beats demographic only sees what's in Fat Beats. Everybody who has nothing to do, like an old lady walking down the street holding an ice cream cone, is not thinking about getting a CD from this guy, a hip hop CD no less probably. So it's like he's like trying to reach everybody, and he knew standing over there is a good move because you could get the demographic that comes in and everybody on the street. Would I do it? Hell no, I wouldn't do it. But it's all good. Yeah,
I mean that's kind of crazy because at least I would have my CD at Fat Beats. You know what I'm saying? Just to say that it was sold at Fat Beats.
Absolutely. We had the brown tape there. I could say that we at least had one thing there.
Exactly.
We had the brown tape.
And I would pass out maybe like little samples to people, and then on the sampler or whatever, be like, all right, available at Fat Beats where you met me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's smart. That's what I would do too.
You know what I used to do? I used to go to the record store when cassettes were going out of style, and I used to buy the cassette singles.
Okay.
I'd buy those all up because they were really cheap, and then I'd record my own stuff on it, stick a sticker on it, and hand those tapes out.
That's awesome. That's like the illest little promo move right there.
Yeah.
So, Chase, you want to ask J57 something?
Yeah, I want to talk about the name Brown Bag AllStars, and I want to make a connection possibly to the Alcoholics. Is there one there?
Yeah, there is. There's a tiny connection. Like we're down with Tash, you know what I mean? I can't say what it's for, but we've done tracks with Tash, and we, like their manager came, like when me, Soulcon and Element did like a mini tour in Cali a few years ago, and like their manager saw that that we big up the Alcoholics in interviews and sampled them in our tracks, and he came and checked us, and then wanted to like tour, wanted to set up a Brown Bag Alcoholics tour, but it didn't work out because it was like, well, I guess it was when Fat Beats was around because we couldn't do it because of Fat Beats. Like I couldn't leave, you know what I mean? Like me and Audible couldn't leave the store, you know what I'm saying? But we were down, definitely down with Tash and definitely down with their manager. Haven't met the rest of them, but like infinite respect, you know what I mean? But like we, our name came about because around the block from Fat Beats there was a bodega, and we'd all close up the store and be hanging out and chilling as a crew. We weren't even a group yet, and we'd go to that bodega just to get 40s and 22s of Corona or whatever, and go back to the store and hang out and have a bunch of people come and meet us there and chill and whatever else. And the guy only, like, old school New York law, you can't walk around, you can't sell alcoholic beverages with like 40s and stuff like that without them being in a brown bag. And that isn't a law. That hasn't been a law for mad years, but the dude still kept by his old standards. And so every time, like, we'd all chill every Friday, and after like months of that, we'd always have brown bags on our 40s and stuff in the store, and we'd be cleaned up at the end of the night. There's like a million 40s with brown bags all over the store for months. After a while, I just started saying it as a joke, the name, and kind of just went from there, honestly. Like, it became a crew, and like became like, let's do some posse cuts, and then it became a group once people started booking us for shows, which is bizarre. So like, why are they booking us for shows? We're not even a group. And then that's where it became a group.
Oh, wow. You kind of hinted maybe there that you've done some ghost production, or am I reading this wrong?
No. I haven't done any ghost production yet. I'm not, obviously that would be ill for anybody to do that, but I haven't done it yet. No, it's we've done tracks with them, like rap, like we've done like songs with them. I can't say what the projects are for because it'll give it away, but like, it could be one of his projects or whoever, But we've done joints with with him and.
Yeah, because just some advice here for like up and coming producers, because there's so many people I think that probably get ripped off from beats from cheapskates who like don't want to pay anything for them, right?
Yeah, there's definitely a ton, man. I mean, it's tough. Like when I was shopping beats before having any tiny bit of a name or anything like that.
Remember J Logic?
Definitely as J Logic, 1,000% as J Logic, which is so funny you would say that. I would give beat CDs to people, and I would have a vocal tag of me saying J Logic beats, but my voice pitched down. And to this day, like people actually from I think from Orlando, our homies Critical Madness. You familiar?
Yeah, that's my people. Word up.
Those are the good homies.
I've known them for over like a decade.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? Me too. That's crazy. I never even thought of that because Amore from Fat Beats was their manager. She was, and
Bringing out the dead.
So I became tight with them early on, and I remember to this day, Madness. I still see Madness, at least once or twice a year, just whenever. And he'll always be like, J Logic Beats, because that was the vocal tag. He's till this day he says that. But that's what you got to do when you're like starting out. You got to put like vocal tags all over it because people will jack your beats 1,000%. You know what I mean? And like I'm lucky I'm at a point where if somebody did it to me, I could at least if somebody big did it to me, I could use it. If somebody's small or whatever starting out did it to me. No one's going to hear it because no one knows who this person is. So I don't really care if they jack my beat. I mean, I do care, but it's not going to hurt me. If somebody big stole a beat from me, I could make the biggest stink about that and blow up overnight. I'm not mad at that. I actually encourage somebody big to like steal a beat from me and not pay me because then once I blow that up, I won't look like an idiot for it. You know what I mean? They'll look like a bad guy and I'll look like, what I'm saying? Like my name will be buzzing through that and they'll see that the beat was dope. You know what I mean? But I say starting out, you got to put your name tag on that thing.
Yeah, for sure. Good advice there.
Thank you.
So now but the vocal tag that you use now though, the "Let's Go," and the J57, where did "Let's Go" come from?
Yo, they're both sample-free vocal tags, man. The J57 was like a voice analyzer thing that I used, and I used it, I pitched it down and distorted it and made it my own thing, and like I just typed in my name, like I'm the J57, I typed that in, and the guy said it, or the voice, like the robotic voice said it, and then I pitched it down and did all this stuff to it. And then the Let's Go was one of our interns, a dude named B.A., shouts to him. He's over at Mass Appeal Mag now. He's a little homie. He'd be at the in-stores, and like whoever was at the in-store, he's got the loudest, he's a little dude, but has like the loudest voice. And somebody would be like, like everybody in the store, like, sing along for the hook or whatever, like rap along with me. And he would always be so screaming so loud that I was like, dude, you got like a pretty cool yell because you're standing next to me by the register and this guy over by the windows like 50 feet away or whatever, I don't know, is like able to hear this, you know what I mean? So I was like, come to the studio and just scream a bunch of stuff for me to use, kind of like how like Dilla would use like louder and all that, like, like all those like, not cliche, but like all the stuff that's been done. I wanted my own unique one, no one's done, and no one could replicate, you know what I mean? So I had my boy come through and hook me up with that.
That's cool. Because, I hear so many people, like you said, you type it in and you have the computer voice whatever you want. But there's one clip where it sounds like it says Brown Bag AllStars.
Oh, that's mad funny.
I heard that. I'm like, what? Brown Bagel?
Yeah, because the voice, the computer voice, like they don't pronounce things perfectly because it's like a weird computer thing.
I know, and bag and all right beside each other. They put it together and made it sound so it said Brown Bag AllStars. And I'm like,
That is exactly what it sounds like. That's mad funny.
that was hilarious.
All right, so I'm gonna play this joint that has your vocal samples in it. You know what I'm saying? And
Cool.
real dope MC. We're gonna talk about also the whole New York scene. Like it's because you're talking about all the different records you have back there that you guys have recorded with. You know what I'm saying? And like, because you know Critical Madness. You know what I'm saying? I know Critical Madness. Homeboy Sandman, Scene.
Yep.
Science, you know what I'm saying? He just put out that Ella joint, which is crazy.
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
So I mean, I want to talk about, like, do you guys just like bump into each other and like, oh, let's record a track? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it that simple?
Oh,
But-
I mean, do you want to talk? Wait, you saying you want to talk about that now or after a
Yeah, we're
break?
gonna talk about that as I play this joint. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
cool. I didn't want to cut you off. That's why I wanted to ask.
Oh, no, hey, feel free to do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Because right now this is Access J57. It's nothing about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm here 2 hours every week already. You know what I'm saying? So do what you gotta do, because right now it's about you. All right, so I'm gonna get into this joint. She also told me that she's from the Orlando area, or she went to school here. But Nitty Scott MC.
Yes, Nitty. Yeah. She's the best.
This track is crazy.
Thank you, man.
Like a prayer track, nuts. You know what I'm saying? From the
Appreciate it.
concept, from everything is just crazy.
Thank you, man.
And so, yeah, one of my favorite joints from you. I mean, and I want to get into it. I want to make sure I get it onto the show. But give me a crazy, random Jeopardy-style fact about it. You know what I'm saying? Like a prayer.
Okay, so the original title was Holy Holy. That was Nitty's title that she came up with as a rough, and that was before she had a hook of any sort for it or an idea for it. And I made the beat. I sent it to her and her manager Jules, who I was boys with Jules, and he hooked me up with Nitty before anybody knew about her. Like nobody did. And I was like, yo, she's dope. Let's do this. That was that might have been like the second or third track we did together. And she sent it, they sent it to me. It was one of the only tracks we recorded without me being in the studio with her, and then we went and re-recorded it. But like she originally she actually sang the Like a Prayer hook originally, but then she didn't love how it came out, so she was like, yo, Element was in the room, so she's like, El, you want to do the cuts? And everyone's like, yeah, El, do the cuts. And he was like, all right, cool. So we did the cuts. But that's a little fact for you.
So that's just how things happen. Man, we got to talk about how this whole independent New York thing is happening, because I think a lot of different cities can learn from what you guys are doing. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. Definitely.
And cool, we're going to talk about that while we play Like a Prayer, featuring Nitty Scott MC and DJ Element on the cuts, produced by J57.
Yes,
and
sir.
our special guest. So we're going to get into it. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's our show. You rhyming on it too, right?
This one, no, I don't rhyme on this one, no.
Wasn't there I'm going to go back and listen to it. I could have sworn there was like a male voice in the front of it. All right, we're going to get into I get so many joints from you. Thank you, by the way, for sending so much music. It's awesome.
Thank you for playing it.
I'm
For
saying?
real, I gotta get Chase's email too.
Yeah, please send me some stuff.
Make that Canadian connection. All right.
That's awesome.
All right, so it's our show. Thank you guys for tuning in. It'sourshow.net, chasemarch.com. Where else we're at? We're at thewordisbond.com, kevinnottingham.com, and on the airwaves in Orlando at 91.5 FM. All right, cool. This is Like a Prayer. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be right back. Be easy. Peace. So how are you on time? Are you good or?
I'm good, man. Totally.
All right, cool. Now, so tell me about this New York scene. I mean, are you guys just like bumping each other and like, hey, let's record a track? All right, let's record a track, and then.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. There's not a lot of. You know what's crazy? I want to say, and I think a lot of people like Homeboy Sandman, a lot of the homies, I think they'll like really, really agree. I think they'll all agree that I think Brown Bag was the crew that started that in the New York independent scene, because that wasn't happening at all. Like there was cliques, but they were down. These are cats who were down with each other. Like we were like the crew that reached out to everybody that we thought was dope, and if we didn't reach out to you, we didn't think you were dope, and we still don't. But no, that's not true. But like no, but we did. We reached out to people. Like Homeboy Sandman introduced himself to me at Fat Beats one day. Like we met a lot of people at Fat Beats. You meeting somebody there doesn't mean you're going to be friends with them. Definitely doesn't mean you're going to collaborate with them, because everyone, if you don't know each other in the New York scene, man, it's very cutthroat. It's actually really, it's like a competition thing. So like we were the first ones to break down the wall, being like, yo, let's link up, instead of being like, yo, Brown Bag's going to just murder everybody, all these other crews. We're like, yo, let's grab somebody from this crew, grab somebody from this crew. let's do some stuff, man. Let's do some tracks, you know. And there was mutual respect. And it's crazy because once I reached out to, it was always me that reached out to people. I was like kind of the guy that knew everyone or met everyone kind of thing. And every time I reached out to them, like Soulcon never met Sandman, Concept never met Sandman, but I hit him up to get on Soulcon's track Knuckle Puck that had Concept, Sandman, and Eighth One. I was like, yo, I'm like, you want to get on my homie's track? I produced it. You know, he's in my group Brown Bag, blah, blah, blah. Sandman was like, send me the beat. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, he was like down. And Soulcon was down to get him on the track. You know what I mean? Concept was down to be on a track with him, even though they didn't know him yet. They knew his work, thought he was dope. And it was like, you know, the cast who I linked with, like Nitty and Scene and Tanya Morgan, and like the list is insane. Like all the people that we are down with to this day. Like it was over a course of time, but you know, they're all really good people. You know what I mean? Like they're all like really just good people. Like Science, you know what I mean? They're like like we didn't know him at all. Like Science was like rocking an open mic show that we were throwing. You know what I mean? Like, and I thought he was dope. Nobody knew who he was. We did a couple tracks, not because he had a buzz yet. It was just I thought he was dope, and now he has a crazy buzz. And I'm like, you know what? I knew he would. He's dope, and he's a good dude. And that's kind of like we're all like-minded people, man. We all just have a lot of mutual respect and like to think that we're, you know, pretty good at what we do.
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, and that's what should be built on is a mutual respect. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't matter if, oh, this person's got a buzz yet. They could suck. It may not fit, and then the track will come out whack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right. Hey, could you move your the camera a little bit over? Because I got like half your face here.
Oh, shit. Yeah, oh, yeah.
There you go. Good looking out. All right, word. All right, cool. We're going to come back. Hey, Chase, I mean, like I said, I'm sorry. I've been trying to set this up for like years now. You know what I'm saying, with 57.
Yeah.
And so feel free to hop in at any time, you know what I mean, and just. So we're going to come back and, you know, ask a question or something. I feel bad, you know what I'm saying, with you not talking. You know what I'm saying? Well, so, all right, cool. We'll be right back.
No worries. All right.
We're back. It's our show right here, WPRK, Winter Park, Florida, 91.5 FM on your airwaves. And we're also on chasemarch.com, thewordisbond.com, kevinnottingham.com, itsourshow.net, and, yeah, on the Twitters and Instagram, Our Show, and Google Plus, Our Show. You can actually, Google Plus is so awesome. I've been messing around with that, and that's like my only network that I mess with. And all my other ones are bots. So if I don't respond to you on Twitter or especially Facebook, you know why. But yeah. So it's you can actually Google. People always say Google me, but now you can actually go to google.com/+Our Show and find us. So that's awesome. All right. So now talking about that, we got J57 in the building. Oh, Chase, did you want to say something? Like I said, I feel bad, you know what I'm saying, about not saying, you know what I'm saying, letting you talk. You know what I'm saying? This is what you do. You're a professional interviewer, you know what I'm saying? And I want you to, you know what I'm saying, I feel bad. So go right ahead.
Well, I do appreciate being on this new platform because, you know, it's cool. I'm on a couple up in Canada and one in the UK. So it's nice being on the airwaves in Florida. It can definitely tell, Conscious, that you're a fan, right? I mean, you're fanboying out all over the place today with J57 here.
Fanboy, come on.
I'm a fanboy of just dope hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? That's why I have the radio show. I don't get paid to be here. But I'm here like 12 hours a day sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Getting the show together.
I respect it.
Yeah, I definitely, like, I mean, I understand that because, you know, before I came on here today, I was working on a Philly Moves interview, interviewed them earlier, so it's cool to be
wow, you guys put in that work, man. I respect it. Salute to both of you.
Yeah, we try. That's why I wanted to have Chase on here also, you know what I'm saying? I respect what he's been doing at The Word Is Bond, you know what I mean? So, word.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Actually, in February, it's going to be show 100 for Word Is Bond.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
And I love Twitter. That's my platform of choice. But Jay Medeiros from Percussions put up a tweet about a month ago that I haven't been able to stop thinking about. And he says, what is the album that you have to call yourself a hip-hop fan? And I was thinking, you know what, I want to ask this question to everybody and do it for the 100th show and just put all these interview clips together. So one album that you must have, what would you say, must-have rap album?
Easily, Nazilmatic.
Nice. Why?
Would you say why?
Yeah.
Oh, it's perfect. It might even be. It's one of maybe three. It's one of maybe, I don't know, 10 or whatever perfect albums. You know what I mean? Hip hop albums, like perfect, where there's no flaw. You can't say, oh, it's a classic album, but I would cut a track or whatever. Like, it's just perfect, man. There's just something about it that you just really can't describe, and it's really just like raw hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it just has it. It just is the epitome of hip hop to me.
Yeah, well, I agree. I mean, there's like when the Source magazine used to do 5 mic albums, and they were so rare
Yeah.
because there was hardly ever something that you could say was 5 mics. And I know I used to we used to get in fights with a magazine, you know. Me and my buddies would be like, "How did that get 3.5?" You know?
Yeah.
Come on, that's like, you know, like Bush Babies. Like we love the Bush Babies, you know, and like they got 3.5. And we're like, what?
Bush Babies were dope.
Insane.
Yeah, Bush Babies
So,
were dope, for real.
yeah, I don't know where those guys went.
Well, whatchamacallit is still kind of doing his thing. What was Mr. Man? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still around. And then Babyface Chaos, he changed his name to Lee Majors. And I think he's still doing his thing also. But, what was it? Whitey? I think
Yeah.
he just stopped.
Yeah.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Did you know that Jermaine Dupri produced on that first album?
What?
Yeah, if you go back and look at the Bush Babies' first album, you'll see Jermaine Dupri's name on there.
That's pretty crazy. I had no idea.
And then Pasta News produced that track, Love Song. And I think that was like the first recording of Mos Def, I think as a solo artist or something like that.
Wow. Fun facts.
I love
And, you know,
that.
I'm random things. That's why I like to ask people about random stuff about their tracks. You know what I'm saying? Like that last track we played, Like a Prayer, featuring Nitty Scott MC off the Ports EP. I think that might have been one of my first projects that I actually got, I paid for it too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I appreciate
From you. You know what I mean? This was like years ago though, right? Like when did that come out? Because you released 2 projects at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Ports EP
Yeah.
And 2057, right?
Yep, the same day. Yeah, I guess it was like a year and a half ago, something like that. Like a little over a year and a half ago. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
A real long time ago. I appreciate you supporting and always playing our stuff, man. Definitely.
Yeah, you already know. You know what I'm saying? So now tell me, okay, so now Brown Bag AllStars, the crew, has been around for how long?
I mean, the crew like started chilling and stuff. I would say summer of '07 is when we'd have all those parties, and then like
Alright.
and we'd go to shows like working at Fat Beats. We get on guest lists and stuff a lot,
Nice.
and that's when we started writing on the guest list Brown Bag AllStars. So like, you know what I mean? That's how like became a crew. So then recording tracks September '07, doing shows February 2008, being an actual group maybe March, April 2008, like where we're like, okay, we're a real group, and then we put out our project, the Brown Tape, September 2008.
All right, so now you guys have been putting in a lot of work for a lot of years, and now you just recently did your first overseas like tour, right? Was it
Yeah.
your first one or
I did. It was awesome.
earlier this year?
Yeah.
Now, from the beginning to like the end, how did that even become a thought? Because I'm trying to, like we spoke on the email, I'm trying to hit overseas. You know what I'm saying? And I don't rap, so that's a problem. But how did it first come into fruition, like the idea, you know what I'm saying, to actually going over? You know what I mean? Like, just map that out for me.
I guess, you know, I mean, Solcon with his battles, he was going overseas just to battle for a while, and then him and Concept with his, you know, from this, you know, I guess the synergy of the buzz Concept had solo-wise and Solcon solo-wise / the battle fame, like that together was enough for them to go on tour a year before me. And I was gonna actually go with them, but I didn't. The way it was working out, I was gonna rock like as like their DJ kind of thing. Even though I don't DJ, I never even front like I do because I'm friends with too many talented DJs to ever say that I DJ because I don't. But like, you know what I mean? I have too much respect for that. But I remember I turned it down because it would have been very awkward for like 3 out of the 4 MCs in Brown Bag to go overseas and like Audible's left. Even though I'm DJing. Even though I'm just DJing. It wasn't like he wasn't invited or something. It was like, it would have been very awkward. So I was like, yo, I'll take the L. I'll wait however long I got to wait out of respect. And it turned out to be just a year pretty much, almost exactly. I didn't even know that was going to happen. And I got approached by my man Buddha French over there, dope MC that I work with very closely. he was like, yo, he's like, there's been like because we did a couple tracks that got like really big in the hip hop scene in the UK and stuff.
I'm gonna play one of those joints you had with Buddha French also.
Oh, dope. Yeah, you know your stuff, man. I'm impressed.
This is that's what I do. It's our show. You know what I'm saying? It's not those softball pitching interview questions. You know what I'm saying? This is real.
Yeah, I love it. Great interview. Yeah. And that was it. Like Buddha French opened up a lot of doors by me and him collaborating, and also my man Jefferson Price. But I mean, I don't know. It was just like, I guess it stemmed from the collaborations, and my name kind of buzzed a tiny bit from that, and it was enough for them to want to do a tour where it's me and Concept and them. So I don't know. It just worked out. We're going back in a couple months. I can't wait. I mean, I can't really talk on that yet, but
I was going to ask you about, because you said you had something that you may or may not yet be able to, divulge.
Oh yeah.
Can you?
I cannot say. I will tell you through email though.
Okay, that's dope. All right, so it's looking good then.
Oh, it's looking very good, but
Nice.
I legally can't say anything yet, but it's looking very good.
Nice. Now, so where did you guys hit when you went overseas?
Oh, we did the whole UK, and then Switzerland was pretty insane. Like we were all over Switzerland, which was crazy. Only had a few shows there, but it was like,
Switzerland though. Damn, I don't care if it was half a show. It's Switzerland.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was like, I don't know how many people, but it was like a few hundred people, man. It was dope. Like that show was ill, and I mean everything in the UK was ill too. Like they were like on my birthday night, it was like a sold out show. That was like incredible. Well, I don't know. It was just the whole top to bottom of the UK, and then over to Switzerland doing a bunch of stuff, and one of them was a show.
That's dope. So now, talk about the fans, because all right, the track you did with Buddha French, like when you started working with him, how long till you were on tour over there? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to timeline this out.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
We started linking, Scene linked us. They were friends, and I might have talked to him in late 2010, like early 2011. Became like really tight. We would talk on Skype and stuff to talk about, forgot what, like maybe it was potentially me and Scene going over there. I think it might have been, and that from that became like a real friendship where I didn't know he rapped like that and all this stuff, and
be right there.
Dude's dope. You know what I mean? That was it. Like we just started building from 2011 on.
That's dope. So it wasn't just like I just started rapping, now I'm overseas. Like it takes time to build up a presence over there. I don't think a lot of people understand that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, there's a lot of people that are just buzzing through the roof right now that just came out with their first song like this year maybe. But and that's cool, good for them. I hope that they actually stay around, because that kind of stuff is really flash in the panish. You know what I mean? Like you got to really build a fan base, and that's why I'm able to do what I do now, because it's like we spent a lot of years doing this from the ground up, and we actually have people that know who we are and care, whereas we're not being like shoehorned into something or force-fed, you know what I mean? Like where it's hit or miss, or people just stop caring or forget, or they realize you're really not as dope as the PR money is making you look. But it took a lot of years. Like I've had offers to go overseas for mad years, all over the country, the world, you know what I mean? All over. But I never did it because it wasn't like a lucrative situation. It was like a startup thing where I would have to pay my own way and stuff, which nothing wrong with that in the slightest. But growing up in New York and stuff or living in Brooklyn, I should say, it's a very expensive place. It's like you can't really just like do stuff like that. You know what I mean? But it took a lot of years, but now I'm finally at a place where I could go over there and tour and stuff, and go up, like I was telling you, Chase, you go up to Canada and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And tour up there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it does take years. There's so many people that are starting out right now. It's like I can throw something up on YouTube and be famous right away, but
yeah, it's insane.
that way, you gotta pay some dues. You gotta put in some time and effort and develop your craft and get better.
Definitely. I'm glad it went this way, man. Because you know what? If I got on early, me and Concept were just talking about this with a couple of our homies. If we got on right away, who knows if that had gone to your head? Who knows if people would have really cared? You know what I mean? Like it took us a long time, but we paid a lot of dues, and people respect that, and we got so much better. Like, you know what I mean? Like just from years of sharpening our swords and being overlooked and working harder because of it, and then starting to get some praise, but still getting overlooked here and there, so we work even harder. And now we're just like monsters now. Like we're like the best we could be. Whereas like if we got on early, who knows? Some people stay stagnant because of that. They're not really hungry anymore. You know what I mean? But now it's our work ethic. We don't know anything else. If I blow up tomorrow, I'm gonna work just as hard as I worked today forever. This is done. This is me now as a person. So I'm glad it took long.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because there's a MC in Canada here, Classified.
Oh, yeah. I know.
I've heard of Classified. Yeah, wasn't he on that Northern Touch track like a while back? The Northern Touch.
Oh, I remember that song.
That's crazy. That train's crazy.
Yeah. Classified just put out his 15th album.
Wow.
And the 14 of them were like independent, you know. So it's like his 15th one is huge.
So he's too short of the White North. That's awesome.
And he started in the 90s because I was trying to be a rapper in the 90s, but this was back in the days when you're promoting yourself on message boards and stuff like that, you know, because the internet wasn't as wide and accessible as it is right now.
Yeah.
And you know, I quit. A lot of people quit, and he just kept going and going and going, and like it's incredible to see that growth and how, like, he's always touring, and you know, and he's still got that hunger, and he's paid his dues, you know, so like you can respect that.
I respect that so much more than you understand. No, you do. You personally understand. I know. I really. Like Tech Nine. I mean, same thing with like Tech Nine, who like, you know, Atmosphere. I mean, there's so many like ill stories about people who like did it their own way, and it took a lot longer, but it ended up making an incredible impact. You know what I mean? Rather than just being like, you know, put on right away and then just, all right, no one remembers you a year later. Like a lot of blog rappers kind of happened, you know?
Yeah, exactly, because you never put in that time to really reach out to people so they actually know who you are, you know what I'm saying, from the ground up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like everywhere at once.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love the fact that we can build lengthy careers because, you know, for a while, like, you know, some of my favorite artists, like Bush Babies, 2 albums gone, you know? But
crazy.
Like, you know, some people that are putting in like Brother Ali and like Atmosphere, like you said, and Brown Bag AllStars, that like if you go to your Bandcamp page, man, you can't even listen to all that stuff. There's so much stuff there, right?
Yeah, the man has put in a lot of work. Yeah.
You yourself have such a body of work that's quality. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, man. I appreciate it.
So good to see longevity in hip hop.
Yeah, hell yeah. Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, it's really like, it just gives you hope. You know what I mean? That you can just keep doing this, you know?
Yeah. Like KRS-One said, he's going to be rapping when he's 60.
Word? That's like 2 years from now. Hey, get to this joint. He's not listening anymore. You'll be all right. All right. But let's get into this joint. This is the Full Bottle track. You know what I'm saying? Produced by you, with Buddha French and Concept.
Yes, sir.
And this is what, you know, the name of the actual tour was called the Full Bottle Tour too, right?
Indeed. Yep.
And how full was the bottle at the end? We're going to talk about specific things that happened during the tour, during the actual, when we're playing the track. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Now, also, give me a random fact about the joint.
Okay, so I don't even know if the song was recorded yet, but we did this song live. We would end because we would do the set for the tour. We'd do it Buddha French, then me. Oh, actually, me doing a beat set, then Buddha French, and I would play his beats for him, and then Concept would come up. I would hype for him, and then we'd do some Brown Bag songs. That was our thing. And at the end of the Concept and mine set, we would do this song live during the entire tour, but we never recorded the song. We did it after. So that's a fun fact.
Nice. All right, cool. We're going to get into this. Is Full Bottle, produced by our special guest, J57. And my picture just went out. I don't know what's going on, but word. And then, so yeah, J57, Buddha French, and Concept right here in our show. Thank you guys for tuning in, 91.5 FM. It's our show.net. Also on chasemarch.com. Also on thewordisbond.com and kevinnottingham.com. All right, cool. We're going to get into this joint. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been basically a J57 show. All right, word up. Like I said, I've been mad years. You know what I'm saying? Been trying to make this happen. So word up. I'm glad we actually make it happen this time. All right, cool. We'll be right back. Easy. Bruce. Oh, by the way, instrumental in the background, of course, Jay Dilla, The Difference. All right, be right back. Easy. Bruce. So yeah, so tell me some like stories from the road.
Oh man, I don't even know where to begin. It was so much fun. Can't wait to go back, obviously. You know, like I was saying, me and Buddha French became really tight, and Concept got pretty tight with him too, actually, especially from the first tour that he did was with him too, or shows were at least. So like we were having fun the whole time. Like me and Concept obviously known each other a long time, and then we're both friends with Buddha. It was just like a fun time, you know what I mean? I guess a story that I could tell you, like right now, one that was pretty funny, but it wasn't funny at the time, for me at least. We were driving from one city to another in the UK. We were going down to Brighton, I guess, which is at the bottom. It's in the south. Really fun area, real like drunk area. Like everyone drinks a lot. It's fun. And we stopped to get McDonald's, which is horrible. You know, like none of us eat bad like that, but we all got McDonald's. And we're sitting in the McDonald's, and all of a sudden, an orange juice bottle hits me in the back of the head.
Wait,
so
what?
so I start freaking out. Like I didn't scream or anything, but I was just like, yo, I was like ready to snuff somebody, but I'm like, wait, I'm in another country, I'm not trying to get arrested, and I'm like, let me chill with the New York attitude for a second. But then we turned, like Buddha French is sitting across from me in Concept, so we didn't know who it was. Me and Concept were ready to like fight somebody, you know, and Buddha's like, yo, chill. It was unfortunately some dude that was like a little bit handicapped, but he kept throwing bottles at me. We had to leave for no reason.
Just no reason.
He's just probably like handicapped, you know what I mean? Like he had like a mentally.
Wow, so picked you out of everybody in the McDonald's in the UK to throw bottles at.
Yeah, man. That's what I was saying. I was like, yo, I can't even get mad at this dude. But like, that was like a stupid story, like where we still joke about it all the time. But,
yeah.
I don't even know. There's so many of them, but like, we had fun, man. We drank a lot. We drank a lot. That happened.
So the full bottle was empty by the end of the tour, huh?
By the end of the second the bottle opened, my friend, we just went in. You know, like, yo, all right, I'll tell you a good story. We were waiting for a bus. At one point, we were taking buses. Buddha couldn't meet up, like couldn't drive with us or whatever. Me and Concept definitely aren't driving on the wrong side of, you know, the car and street. You know what I mean? So we're not even gonna risk that one. So we were gonna take a train to meet Buddha at the next city or something. He had to like go home and do something and blah blah blah. And we were walking to the train, and I found a bunch of money on the floor, which is always dope. And I was like, yo, Concept, I'm like, we have like an hour until the train gets here. I'm like, I just found money. I'm like, we could just, you know, because we were, you know, everything's paid for anyway, but we had to just think about it. Like, do we put this into paying for our food and doing like all normal stuff, you know, like people do? We went right to the bar and blew all the money on drinking until the train got there. Like all the money, like every penny of it. We even put our own money in by the end of it. Like we drank for like an hour straight like beasts, and it was great. And then it was a fun train ride to wherever we were going.
Now talk about the fans out there. You know what I'm saying? Because you weren't there to really like build with them, I guess. You know what I mean? Like how you are in like New York, you're able to go to shows and, you know, build up that fan base.
Yeah.
How is it over there? Like, I mean, I was like, because he said a lot of the shows had like hundreds of people. How, like, that's crazy. I mean,
it's mind blowing. It is mind blowing for sure. I mean, dude, they know their stuff. They know what's up about hip hop in America in general. Like, they're talking about either classic stuff that I grew up listening to. I'm not talking about commercial classic like an Illmatic or something like that. Like, you know, like they're talking about obscure stuff like Cage and, you know, Tame One and stuff like that. Like, they're like, yo, they're like, so did you ever meet Tame One? Like, they're asking me all these questions. I was just like, wow, that's pretty crazy. But you know, they know the stuff. They know our music. They knew the obscure people that I work with that are really dope, that are on the come up. They knew about all that stuff, and it was really cool. Like, it was really cool to meet these people that I never met ever, and also like they brought their friends. So those people would come up to me and be like, never heard of you before in my life. I'm glad I got dragged to this show because you guys were dope. I'm now a fan. They buy a CD or hang out or whatever. You know what I mean? And that was like the coolest thing ever. You know what I mean? Pretty much. Like, you know.
All right, cool. We're going to be back on there right now. You know what I'm saying? So, and then we'll probably just end it off or whatever. But I want to play a track from the new project you have with the homie Blame One.
Okay.
They're Walking the Sun.
Awesome.
All right, cool. I'm going to get into this on word up, we're back. It's our show right here, WPRK, Winter Park, Florida, 91.5 FM. It's our show.net, chasemarch.com, thewordisbond.com, and kevinnottingham.com. It's crazy because these interviews we've been doing, we've done like 3 of them. We did, we had the homie Bishop Nehru, we had Two Hungry Bros, and we had Divine Karama. And I always plan these interviews to be like 30 minutes, but then we get to talking and stuff, and things just, it's like
Happen.
an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Divine's dope, man. I got to join on his new album that's coming out. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, though.
Oh, word?
Oh, wow.
Okay, dope. All right, nice. See, yeah, that's crazy. Like, all the stuff I play, everybody's already kind of interconnected as far as the independent scene, because Divine Karama is like from Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? And
I didn't even know that, to be honest with you. We linked up on Twitter, which I hate doing, but but that's how I linked up with Blame One, so I can't be mad. But
yes.
he hit me up and he's like, yo, you're dope, blah blah blah. I respected that. I checked out his stuff. I thought he was really dope. We just kept in touch, and then one day he's like, yo, man, he's like, let's work, blah blah blah. Got a beat. Dude, he killed it. The dude's nasty.
Nice.
Didn't know the Kentucky part though. It's all
Yeah,
good. It's even better. I never collaborated with somebody from there, so that's awesome.
Yeah, so now, because most of your collaborations have been with heads from the New York area, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, mostly.
And now, but you just, like you just mentioned, you hooked up with the West Coast homie, Blame One. How did that happen?
Yeah, so Twitter, he hit me up on Twitter when Fat Beats was closing, and just to say, like, yo, man, I'm sorry that the store's closing, like, legendary store, much respect to you and your crew, and then, threw in, I think your beats are dope or something like that, like, later on, like.
And side note, your beats are dope.
Side note, your beats are dope, yeah. And I was like, yo, man, I appreciate you reaching out, saying that, and I appreciate the love on the beats, blah, 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 something like that. And then I think, like, he did it again. Like, a track came out, I tweeted it, and then he retweeted it. It was like, this beat is nuts, like, bugging out. And I was a fan of him for, like, years, so I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, that's real cool. And I think I might have DM'd him and was like, yo, man, let's do a track. And then he was like, yo, let's do, like, an EP. I was like, let's do an album. No, that didn't happen that way. I was like, let's do a track. I sent him a bunch of beats. He goes, I want to use all these and do an EP. So we were going to do like a free EP, real fast, throw it out there, and which I was like ecstatic about. And he was like, yo, this is coming out too good. Let's do an album and like really, really do it big, like really blow it up. And I was like, all right, I'm down. And that's what it is.
That's dope. Now, like, because all your other projects, you're pretty much there with the artists, right? I mean.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, yeah, like I record vocals for a lot of the stuff Soulcon and Concept do, and Scene, and or Sandman comes to the lab and rock his his verse on one of my tracks or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'm there, Nitty, always. So it's like, yeah, I'm there. I'm hands on with this stuff. So it was like different doing it through email with this guy. Exactly.
So kind of talk about some of the challenges then, because you're pretty much just doing it face to face. Now it's through the internet.
Yeah, it's weird because I guess because he's such a seasoned veteran that I didn't have to give any input on like the rhymes really. There was never like a time where I'm like, and this is no knock to anybody that I give input on. I get input all the time from my people, the same people, for when on my stuff because we want everybody to do the best they could do. From him, I had like no beefs with anything. It was just he had his he's had his style for so long like that he's just so good at it that like there was nothing that I could see him do tighter or try to do something different. Like he knows how to operate. And there's a verse or two that I ended up cutting, but it wasn't because I didn't like it. It was because he would do three verse songs and then be like, Jay, cut whatever verse you didn't like and throw so and so on that track. All right, cool. You know what I mean? So it was a different situation, but I think it worked because I'm very control freakish when it comes to when it comes to my beats. I'm like a real control freak, OCD.
You gotta be, because I mean that's your sound. That's like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's me. And he, exactly. It's me. Like the sound is me as as much. And he just is a seasoned vet, so it just worked out because of that.
Do you tweak your beats though? Do you tweak them depending on what they give you? Like, so you like end up changing things based on the lyric?
Yeah, I'm not into doing the drum change-ups. I know a lot of people are, and I'm so anti doing that because it really pisses me off when people do it to me as an MC because it like throws off. They don't emphasize what I was doing, what I was laying down to that certain drum, and I use the beat as like a canvas when I'm rhyming and I'm trying to like paint something on there. And if you change the drums up, there's no knock to anybody who does it, but if you change, as an MC and producer, I get to see both angles, whereas a lot of producers don't rap and they don't get that, and it's understandable. But don't do it is what I want to tell everybody. But I don't do that, but I definitely do what you're saying. I definitely do, like I bring in musicians. I'll bring in, I'll do a change up in the beat, you know what I mean? Like something different, like between the verses maybe, or
add a horn kind of thing,
exactly, bring in different sounds to like make it sound bigger, more full, maybe play something like some synths in the hook to like give it a different, change up or something like that. You know what I mean? I like to do stuff like that, but I'm so anti changing the drums up. Even though I did that to my boy Silent Night on a track called Craft Brewed, I did that to him with the drum change up, but it turns out he liked it, so it didn't matter. But yeah, I like to just build. I like to do a lot of post production, like where I bring in, like I said, like a bass player or like a live bass player, or I bring in like somebody playing analog synths or somebody singing, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you have some instrumental projects where it's strictly instrumental. Do you approach that in a different way as you would if you knew it was an MC spitting over it?
Yeah, pretty much. I thought about it today too. I was like, I haven't done one in so long, so it's funny you brought that up. I was like, I haven't done an instrumental project in like a minute. I should probably do that, and I'm gonna. But what's it called? I do. Like, I have one project out called Digital Society, which is, see where I'm pointing? I don't know if you see, but that's the vinyl right there, and that's electronic hip hop. So it's like I played all these synths. The drums are knocking. It's hip hoppy. You know what I mean? And so I went into that knowing no one's going to rap on it because it's like bizarre, but it's really dope. And then the other one I have out is called the Analog Tape, where it's like little beat loops that are like 15 seconds to a minute and a half long, and it's very Madlib and Dilla beat tape inspired all day, because that's all I would listen to at Fat Beats. I would just listen to beat tapes all day. And yeah, I mean, I definitely like the different animals. You know what I mean? Like, instrumental should be different from a track with a rapper, because no one's rapping, so you got to keep everyone's attention. You got to do a lot of little tricks in this ADHD generation, you know what I mean, to keep their attention just to listen to a beat, you know what I mean? So I attack it differently.
Yeah, for sure. You know, one thing I missed, we used to have this magazine, Scratch Magazine. Did you ever
I
read
miss
that?
that so much, yeah.
Yeah, because like more often than not, when we're talking to hip hop artists, we only talk about lyrics. We don't get to talk about that behind the scenes production, what kind of tools you're using and things like that. So kind of nice sometimes to be able to see producers like workspaces and like what they're
Yeah.
using and how they do it, and give some tips and tricks and stuff, because I used to use an Akie sampling keyboard. It was like the X7000, this great big huge honky thing, and
Wow.
yeah, it had like a zip drive on it, like built into the thing. So it was like that
Oh,
thing
it's crazy.
but just learning how to use that, just was mostly trial and error kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess in this day of like YouTube and stuff, you can find people showing you how to use stuff. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is pretty dope. I haven't really done that yet, but I want to, because I'm getting a new laptop next week, and I'm gonna soup it up and get all these new programs and stuff. And I was thinking I'll probably do all that. I'll probably go to YouTube and be like, oh, that's how you use it, because I've never had to do that. I've been using Reason since day one,
Yeah.
But no, by the way, Scratch Magazine, dude, that was like the biggest goal of mine, was to get into Scratch, and now the fact that it's gone kind of sucks.
I have every issue like saved. It's like,
Wow,
yeah, because those were awesome.
that's
Like,
awesome.
yeah, I wish there was more stuff like that.
Me too.
That's why I like the fact that you get to talk to like producers and see what kind of gear they're using. So for
Oh, I love that. That's my favorite thing to do, is talk about what people use, what gear they're using, and
well, you said
and
you're gonna
so.
get a new laptop. What are you getting?
I think it arrives on like Thursday this week or something. It's a MacBook Pro, like really like souped up MacBook. So I'm just gonna run, like, I have a MacBook right now, and that's what we use for when we tour. Like, we play beats off that, or off my iPad or whatever. But the MacBook I have is like mad old. It's from like '06, like late '06. You know what I mean? And it like doesn't go on the internet anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could make beats on it still, which is cool, and I could rock off iTunes or whatever, program. But like, I can't be putting like new programs on there, and I want to bring my beats to the next level. You know what I mean? So it's like I need to use these other programs to do so, these new ones with these crazy sounds. So I was like, I got to get a new MacBook, like, straight up. Like, I just realized, I was like, I need to do this. Like, I have no choice, because I'm not gonna plateau anytime soon, I don't think, in Reason, because Reason's dope. Don't get me wrong, but like, I'd like to look at it like I like to be limitless, man. I like to be as creative as possible.
All right, now, okay, I gotta get better at this whole Google Plus commenting thing, because, all right, in the chat room, Ricardo Chavez.
Oh, Rick, what up?
Yeah, question for J57. How has Rick Chavez influenced your life to be ever fulfilling?
Oh my God! Shouts to the homie right there, man. I mean, I'll tell you this right now. Being, he's a military guy. He protects the country, so he has protected my life and I appreciate that, and the other troops out there, and that is the answer to that, Rick. You didn't stump me.
Because there's some folks, I don't know how this is working. Hold on. Sean Schmidt, I think he wanted to ask a question, but he typed in that he wanted to ask a question, but didn't ask a question.
What up, guy?
So, I'm not
Let's
sure.
just guess what his question was.
His question was, yo, shouts to Kevin Nottingham, by the way. I know you mentioned them. I kept forgetting. Shouts to Big Stowe and Kevin Nottingham, since you said to stream it on there, too. Those are the homies.
So, yeah, so go through your shout-outs, you know what I'm saying, and how people can reach you and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying?
Shouts to you guys for having me, first of all, both of you. And, man, I guess the best way to reach me would be, I don't know, just go to, like, my Instagram and don't reach me. Just watch what I do. J57, J57 BBAS, Brown Bag AllStars. So J57 BBAS, Instagram. Please hit that up. That's like the only thing I like. I don't really like Twitter. I go on once a day because it's a lot of opinionated people, even though it's good opinions, but it's still, could annoy me sometimes. And then Facebook, I'm on there just to promote my music. I'm not on there to like chat. So, check it out if you want to keep up with my music on Twitter and Facebook, but Twitter at J57, Facebook / like J57 BBAS, I guess, or J57 Music. I think the Instagram's the move because you can see what I do. A lot of studio stuff, and it's fun.
Right.
And a lot of drinking.
And J57music.com.
Oh, you're the man. Yeah. J57, yeah, my manager's going to, like, kick me for this one. She's going to be like, great job. No, but, yeah, J57music.com has a ton of music from me. A lot of free stuff on there, which is a fun fact, since you like fun facts. A lot of free stuff on there for people to just download, you know what I mean? Tracks I've done for other people, like Joel Ortiz, there's a track with him on there, and a ton of stuff, you know what I mean?
All right, cool. So I think we're going to end off, you know what I'm saying, because the next DJ is up next. We'll probably talk a little bit more because we're online also. So hopefully now's the time to ask your questions, folks, like right now, because I'm not, yeah. So, all right, cool. So I'm going to get into this track. Now, you mentioned this is the Craft Brewed joint that you were talking about earlier.
I have a great fun fact for that.
Exactly. Yeah, you said you switched it up on Silent Night or something, right?
Yeah, I did. And let me tell you my fun fact. This is one of the proudest things in my life.
Nice.
The drum change-up I did was an homage to DJ Premier's drum style and drum sounds. So, like, the beat is my drums. I did some Dilla-sounding pounding drums, and then all of a sudden it goes into the Primo, like, his drum pattern and his drum sound kind of thing towards the end of the verses. And one day I got a text from Preem, because I've known him for a couple of years now, but, like...
Oh, nice. I just know Primo. You know what I'm saying? One of the men that has laid the hip-hop. Like, yeah, I got a text from him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, that's what it is.
I got a text from my mom.
I'm not trying to name drop it. It just worked. But look though. This is the coolest thing in the world. He texted me to say that he loved the drum change-up. And I was like, dude, I swear to God, it was an homage to what you've done. And he's like, yo, you killed it. And I was like, I've only gotten that text from him, like that kind of text from him a couple of times. And that, like, I wanted to, like, frame that and put it on my wall.
We're going to talk about the Primo connection because you're in the radio biz kind of too. So if you have some time, you know what I'm saying, we're going to sign off air, you know what I'm saying, WPRK Winter Park 91.5 FM, and the homie Gray Echo's up next, and we're going to get out of here, but we're going to talk a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, we'll play some more joints, you know what I'm saying, and yeah, we're going to be an extended hour show. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
All right, cool, because, yeah, this is crazy. All right, so everybody now that's in the chat room, Lodo the drummer chick, Ricardo Chavez, the engineer, and everybody on Google+, now is the time to ask your questions and things so we can get them answered. All right, it's been our show. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We're signing off on 91.5 FM, and we're going to keep on going. So if you want to find out and check out more, it's ourshow.net, even on your mobile device, you know what I'm saying, and KevinNottingham.com. And thewordisbond.com and chasemarch.com. All right, cool. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been our show. Be easy. Peace. All right, cool. Yeah, so we're off air, I think. I just got a thumbs up from the home. All right. So now, okay, so let me just play that joint. And then, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how this works since it's not over the air anymore and how my recording setup is going to handle that. But yeah, I'm gonna play the track. You know what I'm saying, it shouldn't be any problem, and then we'll just keep talking on the video. So that should work. All right, cool. So this is Craft Brewed featuring Silent Night, produced by J57. All right, thank you guys for tuning in online. It's the Hour Show Extended. We'll be right back. Music. Peace.
Hour Show Extended. How about that? It's like supposed to be like half hour.
All right.
And
Cool. So now talk about, like, so you're because you know Primo because you help out with his radio show on Sirius, right?
No, you know what? I actually, it's the radio show with Eclipse. Like Premier, like filled in a bunch, he's filled in a lot of times for Eclipse when Eclipse on the road.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I thought it was the other way around. Okay, all right.
Yeah. No, like, I guess long story short with that, I started being a part of Eclipse's show when Fat Beats was around, and maybe like the last year, so 2010, I guess, and or something like that. He was just like, "Yo, do you want to, help out with the show?" Blah blah blah. I started doing that, and then like maybe I don't know, like almost a year into it, he started going on tour a lot more, than when I was starting with that, and yeah, Premier started filling in, and I just would give him exclusive Brown Bag tracks, and he loved it. It was like ill, like he liked our stuff. We found out he liked our music from. He came into a Fat Beats in store that we had for OC and AG. I wasn't there. Audible was there, and Concept was there. But and our boy DJ Dilemma, who was interning, we closed up the in store. Primo stayed and chilled with OC. They're hanging out, looking at the records on the wall, talking old time stuff, and all the memories and stuff, like being like in their DITC crew and everything. And yeah, man, like Dilemma threw on a Brown Bag track, The Workhorse, produced by Audible Doctor, and OC and Preem walked over to the counter and were like, "Yo, who is this?" And they're like, Concept and Audible Doctor standing there like, us. And then, we sent tracks to Preem a bunch of times because he kept being like, "Yo, send tracks." Like, he would even call Fat Beats and be like, "Yo, you one of the kids in Brown Bag?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Here's my email. Send me those tracks, man. They're dope." We'd send them, and then I guess he was just not getting the emails or something. I always forget to ask him about that. And then one day I was like, "Yo, let me give him a CD with this." So I gave him a bunch of exclusive stuff on a CD. And he started playing it. He listened to it first. He was like, "Yo, these are dope. I'm going to play these in the show." And I was like, word. And then we started building from there. And after a couple of years of just like him filling in and being cool just from there, and he remembered me from Fat Beats a little bit, obviously. But like after like being cool and having a rapport from, at Sirius, one day he was like, he's like, Jazzy Jeff hit me up and was like, "Yo, you got to work with this kid Mac Miller. He's coming to the studio. When you get out of Sirius, you should come by, man." I was like, word? Cool. So I went there and us three hung out the whole night and it was crazy. And like from there on, like I got just like became like real tight with Preem. Like I would be coming over there to help him with sessions when he was working on stuff and sit next to him and do stuff like record him doing his cuts and stuff like that on a bunch of tracks. And that is like, dude, that is just like something I never thought would happen in the history of my life.
Yeah, because I remember one of the times we tried to do the interview, you're like, I'm in the studio with Preem. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I remember that now.
And so what are some of the things that you've learned from Primo?
Oh my God. There's so many things. One of them is definitely, what's cool? Like I like how he has like an old school approach to certain things. Like for delays, for example, in Pro Tools, like he'll actually like physically move the fader on the mixing board or in the program, to where he thinks the delay or whatever should stop and all that stuff. Whereas a lot of people just like hit a button and they put a certain time into it and it just goes mechanically, like computerized style. He does it by hand, and he's like, "Yo, it has a different feel if you do it by hand." And I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." So it made me think about, like, with beats, I was like, I did a lot of, like, stuff in the program, a lot of copy and paste stuff and whatever else, and I was like, until he said that. And then I was like, I'm like, I should really do a lot of stuff, by hand where I don't, like, fix it or whatever, like the MIDI stuff, you know what I mean? Like I'll do 8-bar bass lines instead of doing, like, 2 or 4 and copy and pasting. So now ever since like I opened up my train of thought really is seeing, and also like with his cuts, he doesn't even use the fader, man. He's straight.
Really?
Like nobody believes that, but it's the truth. So I mean, I got to see like his approach is really really dope, and he changed my approach on making beats, and he really taught me that I should want to be more creative. Like he thinks I'm really creative, and that's really like the illest compliment in the world. And he's like always emphasizing, he's like, "Yeah, you make creative beats, man. Just stay creative." And like that changed my whole like train of thought. I wanted to make bigger, better beats because, that was my idol since I was like 16 years old.
Yeah, that's dope. So now another producer and homie of yours, Marco Polo. How'd that come about?
Fat Beats. He came in for his in-store 2005 for his album Orange Moon Over Brooklyn with PH, Pumpkinhead. and me and Marco hit it off. He came in early, the first and only person ever come in early for an in-store at Fat Beats. Actually, Ali Shaheed Muhammad was on time for my first internship day. Man, we hit it off. Like, we were just like boys right away. Like, we were just laughing, cracking jokes, being pessimistic idiots, just ripping on everybody. And you know, from there on, like, he's been like a really, really like imperative piece of the puzzle for me. He taught me how to, you know, do bass lines and stuff. Taught me a lot about the game, not to take any crap from anybody, to know your worth. You know what I mean? He's taught me a lot. He's a really, like, just a genuinely good, like, same thing with Premier, genuinely good dudes, both of them. You know what I mean? And there's a reason they're so successful. It's because they're really good-hearted people, and they really, really care about the music, like, a lot. Like, a lot.
Dope. All right, hold on. I actually forgot to play that Blame One joint, but it'll be in the overtime joint, you know what I'm saying?
Dope.
Hold on, let me, because right now I'm playing that Do Earth.
Oh, nice.
You know what I'm saying? Featuring Von P, Charlie Smarts, Andrew Thomas. Give me a random thing about that, real quick.
A random thing. You know what? Okay, I'll tell you. So Andrew Thomas, he changed his name to ATR, but he doesn't have anything out yet with that name, so nobody knows that. But it's ATR, so he's all over all the stuff that I got coming out as ATR. So if anybody puts two and two together, which they might, you know. But he did the hook first. That was the first thing for the track. And then I had a bridge that my man Jefferson Price did on there, and he stacked it so crazy that it sounded more like a hook. And ATR was like, yo, he's like, his bridge is like way bigger than my hook. He's like, you should just do that as the hook. And I was like, yo, no, I want to mess them up. I want to make the bridge the biggest part of the track at the end of the song for no reason. Like, do some like a Trent Reznor kind of move, like, you know, like Nine Inch Nails has like this steady beat, you know, even on their hits. And then at the end, there's like this crazy like 20 seconds of this crazy synth that you never heard in your entire life. And you're like, why wasn't that the whole beat? I don't like to do that, but I had to try it, and I did it on that one track. So I did the Trent Reznor layout on that song.
All right, cool. And Sean Smith asked his question in the Google Plus page, the event page. All right, now, do you still mess with? He says, does he still mess with Rawkus artists?
Like cats from Rawkus Records?
I guess so, because it literally says, does he still mess with Rawkus artists?
Maybe is he thinking of like Marco Polo? I mean, I don't know. Have I worked with any?
well, we'll just talk about Rawkus, and maybe he'll answer a question somewhere in there.
Well, first of all, I appreciate him asking a question and tuning in. You know, Rawkus, man, that molded a lot of. You know, all right, if Rawkus was still like around and popping like it was, all day that would have been. Brown Bag would have been signed to that all day. Everybody and the mother tells us. So we love that sound. We grew up on that sound. There's thousands of records behind me in crates and also in these things on the wall, and I have a ton of Rawkus records over there. Yeah, I mean, I grew up on that, man. I have all the I probably have every release that they ever put out.
It's crazy, right? Because I mean, they just seem so perfect.
Yeah.
And they were putting stuff out, like anything that had that Razor logo, automatic cop.
You bought it and you loved it. You were not disappointed. Rare.
But now, how about when they later on in the years, though?
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I think because we interviewed Ari the Rugged Man before.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And he was talking about how Rawkus was like a pseudo-independent label because they had Rupert Murdoch money behind them. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, he meant like it was more like kind of like a major or something? Or?
Yeah, like they just wanted to make it seem like they're indie, but they really weren't because they had so much money behind them, I guess, kind of.
Well, I mean, he nailed it. That is what it was.
Yeah. And now my thing was, like, you can kind of tell the shift because they were putting out some really raw, independent hip-hop.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of see they started to kind of get, I don't know if when it was because Puffy was getting big, but they started to kind of go around that route too. How'd you feel about that? You know what I'm saying?
I didn't like it, man. Like, what was it, Sound Bombing 3 or something? That era? That was like, you know, we're cruising around like in the whip in the summer and bumping, you know, My Life, you know, Styles P and Pharoah Monch, me and my crew, like we're bumping that, going bombing, we're doing graffiti like good kids. And I remember we're bumping that and being like, yo, this is the only song like on this project that we liked. I mean, there was a couple other ones, but like we saw it slipping, and that was like that might have been like the first like time that, you know, we realized that people could just really fall off. You know, we were young kids, so we didn't really know that you could just fall off. We thought everyone's going to be dope forever. but like we were like, what is this? You know, like why is this folding? Like why is this bad? But yeah, that was kind of like when I realized Santa wasn't real.
Yeah, it's kind of, it breaks my heart. You know what I'm saying? To still think about Rawkus. Like, it just seems so perfect. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you grew up on it too, both you guys, right? I assume, like, just like
Yeah.
had to have.
Yeah, you couldn't escape that, man. No way
Yeah.
could you. It was ruling. So
Yeah, every
I've
release.
I've always been an underground head though, you know, like campus radio is where I got most of my hip hop, and it's really interesting that I end up on campus radio years later.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So
All right, so I just played They Don't Know, featuring Akie Bermiss. Now, does Akie Bermiss, like, sleep at the studio, so whenever you need a hook, you just like, hey, wake up, you need to sit on this joint? Because
Yeah,
man's got like 90% of Brown Bag AllStars stuff.
He's all over the Brown Bag album too. That's the fun part. Yeah, you know what, man? I always joke to him, like whenever like we're in the studio sessions, because he's a serious dude, but he's like a real clown when we're all together. So it's like we really have like a fun like chemistry, all of us. And I always joke. I always say that I have him on retainer. Like whenever I need, like he's on salary. Whenever I need him, he has to drop everything to like do a hook or play some keys or something. But he's the man. Love working with him. We're inevitably we're gonna do a project together where he just sings over my beats, which is gonna be awesome. And I don't know, like he's just always working. He's in St. Barth's right now, like singing like in a band for something. I don't know. He's always doing something. He's a really hard-working guy. He works probably harder than anybody.
All right, it's dope. Okay, so right now I'm playing the main event, featuring Mayhem Loren, Action Bronson, Matthew Ragazzino, and Rashid Chappelle. How did all that come about?
Me and Mayhem Loren are boys, and me and him wanted to do a track like forever. And he wanted to do a track. He wanted to do a track with Brown Bag, so we were gonna do a track, me, him, and Concept, because nobody else, like Soulcon and Audible. I remember they were both like this beat. They were like, no, it's a little too street for me. You and Concept are like the New York guys. Like you could sound good on it. So we're like, yeah, we will. And then when I started writing, I was like, wait a minute, like I'm not a street dude. Like I'm like, I don't know what to rhyme about on here. I know what he's gonna come with, and he's gonna be dope. So I was like, yo, I'm like, May, let me like not be on this track. He's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna come through and lay down a verse. We'll figure out who else is gonna be on it. And then Bronson drove him. I never met Bronson before. He drove him there. He chilled. He was quiet, you know. And then he's like,
so what's your first impression of Action Bronson? I'm just curious, because this is probably before he became Action Bronson, right?
Yeah, it was like before he like blew up. You know what I mean? He was quiet. He was super quiet and sitting in like the corner of the room. He was just the homie that drove Mayhem. Like Mayhem texted me on the way here and over to the crib, and he was like, yo, my man's driving. Is it cool if he hangs out? You know, Mayhem's a really respectful dude. So he's asking that, whereas a lot of people would just be like, oh, my boy's here. You know. But I was like, yeah, that's totally cool. And Bronson was quiet, and then Mayhem's like, yo, is it cool if my man gets on the track? And in my head, I was like, yo, if he's whack, I'm not gonna keep it. But yeah, cool. So I let him spit, and I immediately was like, dude, you're dope. And I'm positive I said something about like, oh, you remind me of Ghostface or something, the cliche thing. And he was like, I remember him being like, yeah, I know, I've been told that. And I fell in love with his style immediately. Like I was already boys of Mayhem, already a fan. I thought he was like phenomenal, this dude. I was like, yo, I know this guy's gonna blow up for sure. And
yeah. So he wrote the verse there, or
he had it written already to get on the track. He wanted to get on the track and didn't even ask.
Wow.
He had Mayhem ask me, which was really cool. And so they had their verses ready and memorized, and they got on the track. And long story short, we spent the rest of that night pretty much just like going on like YouTube and all this stuff. They were showing me like their freestyles. He didn't really have too many songs recorded. I gave him a bunch of other beats. They did a few other tracks that I don't think ever came out. And that's how the track went down. So I had their verses, and I was like, I sat on the track for a little while, and then I met Matthew and Rashid, and I was like, yo, I think this could be like the ultimate posse cut. And it was. Like Rosenberg was playing on Hot 97, which is a big deal for me being a New Yorker.
Yeah.
And so it was just dope, man. It was dope.
Now tell me about Matthew Ragazzino, because DJ Eclipse manages him or something, right? Or
Rashid. He manages Rashid. But
okay.
DJ Teddy King manages Matthew, and I believe Nitty's manager maybe co-manages him or does something for him. But Rashid, yeah, like Rashid was already down with Eclipse. The management thing's semi-new, maybe like a year old. But like he works with Kenny Dope. Like Rashid works with Kenny Dope.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Yeah, like exclusively with him. Like I would never be able to get a beat on a Rashid album. It's strictly Kenny Dope, and he's a legend. I can't even front. And he's the man. I've been to his home studio. It's the nicest home studio in the world. I had no idea you had bank like that. But
nice.
Crazy.
I guess there's money to be made in digging in crates and DJing all over the world and making crazy beats.
Crazy money, my friend. Dude, I can't even tell you what kind of car he has and stuff. I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
It's insane. But anyway.
So we're gonna be wrapping this up. I have the outro joint playing now, and cool. So we're gonna end off the audio part with what you got coming up and things. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get that on the audio also.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right. All right, word up. We're back. And we're actually going to be ending. We're just sitting here talking. You know what I'm saying? I played a bunch of joints in between. I played the Blame One joint off Walk in the Sun that's out now. I played the Crazy Collabo track. I played the track with Tanya Morgan. You're going to have to just check out the track list, you know what I'm saying, when I'm done with the show, an extended show. It's crazy. I didn't even know that this would be an extended show. It's dope, you know what I'm saying? But
appreciate it.
everybody's having fun, right? I mean, is it just me or?
No, it's fun, man.
Okay, cool. And we answered some folks a couple of questions in the Google Plus Hangout joint, you know what I'm saying? So big shouts to Sean Smith. In the future, we're going to invite other fans to be on with us so you can see and talk to them. But right now, logistically, I can't have people just randomly jumping on and then may curse or something and I lose my radio show. You know what I'm saying? So that's coming, though.
That's happened on our show, or on our station up here. So.
Oh,
really?
Man, really?
Yeah, because you try to do a freestyle kind of thing, and you lay down all the rules, and some idiot will always just. Especially because we're on so late at night, I think.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and I would literally shed a tear, and I'd be upset. You know what I'm saying? So, I'd be angry because I put a lot of work into this damn show. You know what I'm saying? For someone to come by and just screw me.
But you have a little bit of a delay though on your station. Is there a button you can hit to censor somebody?
Yeah, we do, but I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? We have the dump button. You know what I'm saying? It's right back there. But yeah. I don't want to have to. I shouldn't have. I have all this other crap I got to do. I shouldn't have to do that. You should just be able to not curse.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? All right, so we're heading out here because I'm playing Outkast, Get Up, Get Out in the background, and that's the signal for us to be out, you know what I'm saying? But J57, appreciate you once again, fam, for hanging out.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Upcoming things, what can we look forward to that we're going to be hearing on our show anyway?
I will announce on your show J57 EP, January, let's see, I have it written down over there, January 28th or something like that. Free EP. Got a joint with Exile on there.
Oh, nice.
He gave me a beat. I'm rapping. The whole thing's me rapping, by the way.
Nice.
Over other people's beats. So it's going to be crazy. So.
Now, is it the first project like that?
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
So I announced it on your show, my friend. Thank you.
That is awesome. Now, what's the name? You can tell me the name?
Wax Aesthetic. As you can see,
nice.
It's a lot of wax, and it's my aesthetic.
Nice. Any features?
Yeah, I got a track with Joe Haas, from the Dirty Science.
Nice. Yo, Dag Savage, that dude is nice.
Nasty, yeah. Joe Haas, Koss, Blame One, and Choosy, another new cat from Dirty Science crew with Exile and all them. That's one track. Another track.
Oh crap! Holy, I think that was an album. Damn, that's one track. Damn.
That's one track. Yeah, this is gonna be a little 5-joint EP. So it's one posse cut like that, another posse cut with Denmark Vesey, who's also in the one I was telling you about through email. He's the one that's new cat and Exile's crew. Nice. And my boy Tenacity is on the track as well. Close homie of ours, real dope dude. And then a track with my man F. Virtue. My man ATR is singing on a bunch of the tracks. I'm trying to think. There's got to be something else that I'm forgetting. But, and then there's tracks where I just rap, of course, including the Exile one.
All
but,
right.
yeah, so it's going to be dope.
Nice. What are some other producers that are going to be on there since you're not producing anything?
Oh, right. I should tell people that. DJ Element from Brown Bag.
Oh, okay, nice.
PJ Katz, who played keys on the Blame One album on a track. And he's like a co-producer of mine, like on Me and Concept stuff that's coming out, and Soulcon's album with me as well. So they're sample-free albums. Yeah, I had him play keys on those joints. Who else? My man Wally Shawn. He's a new producer. It's gonna be his first like record that's out there that gets out there that he's produced. He's really dope. I can't remember. I think that's it.
Oh yeah, it's only like 5 joints. So yeah, there you go.
I'm forgetting
now,
something.
So as far as Brown Bag, what's the future hold for Brown Bag?
We're finishing up our album finally, which got delayed a million times because of our solo projects. And we're finally, we did 3 tracks last night. Came out amazing. We're probably like...
Wait, you did 3 tracks last night?
Yeah.
Damn, you guys put in a bunch of work.
Yeah, we had everything written though. I wrote my bridge. There's one track where I just did a bridge because we don't want it to be like everyone rapping on every track. You know what I mean? So there's one track where I just do a bridge. I wrote that on the spot. Everything else we had written. You know.
Now that brings up a good question because I wanted to ask: with so many people in the crew, how do you decide who does what? Like I'm gonna get on this joint. Like, do you just have a whole bunch of beats and then everybody picks, or how does that work?
We kind of just decide. Like we started the album with figuring out the singles. We did 4 tracks that are singles, like with pretty big features and like big producers, and then from there we ended up getting a couple other tracks. 4 tracks from me, 4 tracks from Audible, a track from Element, and I think that's it. And yeah, I think that's it. And then that was it. Like, so we kind of were just like, all right, we all can't be on every track, so this track will be Audible and Concept, and Soulcon will do the hook and I'll do the bridge. That's what I came up with. And then another track is gonna be me and Soulcon, and Audible or Concept's going to do the hook. You know what I mean? Like, we're just trying to, we're trying to space it out so it's not, like, too mind-numbing. You know what I mean?
No doubt. All right.
But there's a lot of tracks with all of us. Don't get me wrong.
No, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Now, Chase, anything you want to end off with, sir?
No, I got all my points in, actually. So, man, this has been really cool, though.
Yeah, thank you guys so much, man.
Yeah, I mean, this whole Google thing is kind of, even though Google is Skynet, and once it becomes self-aware, we're all screwed. But for right now, it's pretty awesome.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? So this is cool. All right. So again, thank you very much. You know what I'm saying? J57music.com. I'm a big fan of promoting people's websites and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So not necessarily Twitter. By the way, congratulations on Twitter. It used to be _J57. Now it's J57.
Correct. They verified.
Verified. That is awesome. How did that happen? Real quick.
I just woke up and it was there. I swear to God. I woke up and I was like, that happened? Cool.
All right, dope. All right, cool. So yeah, shout out to Twitter.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Because I was having difficulty like _J57. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of
yeah. People still do it. It's all good.
Nice. All right, cool. So J57music.com, chasemarch.com, kevinnottingham.com, thewordisbond.com, itsourshow.net. I'm going to have the audio up, you know what I'm saying, for people to check out, and the video. Hopefully this recorded, because I did a new way of starting the Hangout through YouTube, so hopefully it worked out. I don't know, we'll see. And because that would suck to have all this stuff we talked about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of knowledge being dropped. And thanks to everybody that tuned in. Like I said, we're going to be incorporating people into the show, but certain things we have to make sure is cool before we do that. And that's it. I'm tired, you know what I'm saying, but I'm very happy that, you know what I'm saying, we finally got to do this. This is like 5 interviews that we should have been had throughout the years.
I know, dude. Crazy, man. I appreciate it so much, man. You guys are the best, for real.
All right, cool. So we're gonna end off now, and hold on. Let me. I made like overlays and stuff I'm trying to be as professional as possible with this thing we're doing. So hold on, let me see if I got the right one up here. Bam, nice. So yeah, once again, thanks to everybody that tuned in. Big shouts to again, itsourshow.net, kevinnottingham.com, chasemarch.com, and thewordisbond.com. And yeah, we're gonna end it off, and continue success, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man. Likewise, gentlemen.
And next week, I think we're having Marco Polo. Hey, if you could kind of remind Marco that he's supposed to be on the show next week also, that'd be great. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely will.
Because I want Chase to ask him all sorts of Canadian-only known questions, just random things about Canada.
That's dope. I'm going to definitely watch that.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
All right, and then, yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys, and we're headed out here. Be easy. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you, Chase. All right, let me end the show off right now. I'm going to turn this down. And, yeah, once again, rest in power, Nelson Mandela. And the President of the United States couldn't have said it any better. So we're going to end off on that. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's an extended hour show. This is crazy. This is dope. All right, everybody online watching the video, thank you guys especially. You know what I'm saying? It's something new we're trying out. So, all right, be easy. Peace.